Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Monaco Yacht Show. My favorite place at any time of the year, actually. I love Monaco, but during the yacht show, during the Grand Prix is probably the favorite time of the year. And we're here to do the largest yacht of the 2024 Monaco Yacht Show. And there's some cracking yachts here this year. There is a yacht that is the largest ever yacht to be at the Monaco Yacht Show. That's what it's claimed to be. I'm going to dispute it myself because I worked on a yacht that was larger than this one. But anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit. We're going to start off with a boat over here. This boat here, this is Motor Yacht Bold here. That one's not on the list. It's not big enough to be on the list. We're going by gross tonnage, by the way. This is Motor Yacht Planet 9, and we're going to talk about that yacht first. So let's get on with it. All right, so we start with the first boat on the list. This is Motor Yacht Planet 9, number 7 on the list of largest yachts at the 2024 Monaco Yacht Show. Now, this is a very interesting vessel. Unfortunately, I can't see an awful lot of the vessel because of where she's moored. I've got a lot of footage of this boat. I've done 2 independent videos on this boat in the past. One of them we had a GA, or general arrangement, the blueprints, if you like. I did a tour of it. By that, we used them augmented with photographs. And then I did one in Portofino a couple of years ago with lots of drone footage. I'm going to use some of that footage in this part of the video. But this is a 73 meter, which is a 240 foot super yacht built by Admiral Yachts in 2018, I believe. Now, interestingly, this boat's been up for sale pretty much since delivery. Hasn't sold. Its owner is Nate Rothschild. And the vessel was originally up for sale for about 100 million euros, which is what, I don't know, $120 million. Now, the vessel's current price is really come down from then. I saw it, I think when I did the video, if you go back and watch the Portofino video, I think I might mention the price in that. I think it was around 90 million euros at the time. And now the vessel is for sale at the Monaco Yacht Show today for 79.5 million euros. So it's dropped down 20 million euros since the vessel was built. Now, some interesting features of this boat. It has an ice-rated hull. It's an ice-rated vessel, should I say. People often talk about the hull, but that's not the only thing that needs to be ice-rated when you have an ice-rated vessel. You have to have things like heated windows on the bridge and heated windscreen wipers and heated water nozzles for the washers and heated door handles. So when you go to really cold areas, it's great having a double-hulled hull. But if everything else isn't rated for that ice, you're still going to have problems. So this boat is ice rated, and this boat has been to the Antarctic. It was down there a few years ago, and also doing South America. And the vessel went into a 6-month refit in 2023-2024 at a cost of 5 million euros. So it's just had a massive refit, ready for sale, I guess. But an ice-rated yacht is a great asset if you're buying a yacht. If you're an explorer, this is like the F550, that massive truck that they had in the US, like a proper working truck that can tow trains and stuff. This is the equivalent. It's a real working man's yacht. You can see a helicopter up there. I think that's an MD-80. But that is there is a helicopter hangar there as well. That obviously the helo's on the deck there right now, but they can actually open up the floor or the deck, and they can take that and put it inside a hangar. They stow the rotors, and they can lower it into the hangar, which is pretty neat for a boat of this size. Now, I say that 73 meter yacht is kind of, it's a big yacht, of course, don't get me wrong, but to have a helicopter hangar is pretty rare on a yacht of this size. So it's almost, Admiral seem to have, we did a yacht tour on an Admiral. They seem to be able to do the TARDIS effect and have Doctor Who, if you don't know what I'm talking about. And they're able to make it seem like there's more room than there actually is. Now, I worked on a yacht with a hangar a number of years ago. It was a much larger yacht than this, and it takes up an awful lot of space. So they've done a really good job to get that into this package. All right, so number 6 on our list of the largest yachts is this boat here, Yacht Platinum. This one is brand spanking new. It's delivered by Admiral, which is part of the Italian Sea Group. Delivered in September 2024. It is currently September 2024, so it's just been delivered to her owner. So yeah, like I said, brand spanking new. I don't think you can get much newer. Effectively, it came out of the shipyard and came straight here. The 78-meter yacht, which is about 250 feet. Gross tonnage of this boat, and remember, we're measuring by gross tonnage, 2,200 gross tons. A beam of 12.8 meters. That's the width across the boat, side to side. Top speed of only 14.5 knots, which is not great, but they're not built for speed, they're built for comfort. And it can carry 12 guests in 6 cabins. I'm not sure about the crew numbers right now as we film this, so I'm going to leave that one off. Bit curious about the design here. We've got what looks like a swim platform that folds out there. You take these rails off, you've got a swim platform. We've got a stern door here, which looks like it opens up. But I don't think there'll be any launching of any boats from there. I might be wrong, it's hard to tell. It looks very narrow for that kind of thing. And then on the side here, we've got some shell doors. A shell door is basically a door cut into the hull. You can see the outline of that shell door, and we can see inside there's furniture with a teak deck. So this is probably some sort of beach club area. There's probably another door like this on the other side. I'm not sure yet, I haven't been around there. There's water on the other side. But yeah, so that means that the working end, this traditionally would be where tenders are stored. So the working end is probably towards the bow. Probably keep the tenders either on the bow or in shell doors underneath the bow near the mooring deck. Behind me here, we've got Yacht Energy. This is almost new. It's a 2022 yacht, 78 meters or 255 feet. The yacht is here for sale, we believe, 77.8 meters exact, 255 feet. Gross tonnage of 2,886, so this makes it number 5 on the list. And like I said, built by Amels in the Netherlands in 2022. Now this is a 12 guest yacht. You all know the reason for that. 12 guests is the limit you can have for the large yacht code, and has a crew of 27. Now the asking price for this yacht is 199 million euros, so it is for sale. You can see some of the features here. We can see we've got a shell door here that opens out. There's probably some lifeboats in there, not lifeboats, some limos. That's probably where they keep them. I can see inside, I don't see a boat right now, but they probably might have one on the other side as well. We've got a low down shell door there, which is probably for crew access to get provisions in and out. Remove your garbage, etc., things like that. And then we've got, interestingly, down there we've got what looks like a guest cabin or guest area with a balcony, which is kind of unusual in that location. It might not be a cabin. It might be like a public area, because it's unusual to have a guest cabin in that location, because when you're at sea and it gets rough, it pitches a lot. Quite a lot of vessel, and then you will get a lot of movement there. So yeah, kind of unusual, but there you go. Some other things we can see, we've got an extended bridge wing here. This is for the captain when he's docking the vessel. Don't see any controls though, so it might just be for viewing. The controls are probably further back. If there was controls, you would see them right there, and they're not there. We can see another shell door here. Shell door just means an opening in the hull. We can see the line for it there, and it'll either open this way or it'll open like this down. I would imagine I'm going to go with this way, like this, because there is a beach club in here, and that probably will make it much more open. There'll be one on the other side as well, and it will really open out that area. We're going to go to the stern of the boat, and I'll be able to show you some of the beach club, at least from the side, from the stern, with the stern door down, transom door. So you can see fully functional beach club in there. Stern door is down. This is where they'll bring the tenders in. As you can see, there's a tender right there right now. They bring the boat up here. That's probably the boat that's missing from this tender garage over here that I was just pointing out earlier. and you've got a bar in there, and then like I said, as you go further in there, those doors will open out and you'll have this massive area there for relaxing and entertaining and stuff like that. All right, so we'll move on to number 4 on the largest yacht. Look at all of this on the floor here. This is all the shore power for the yacht. But this is Yacht Dar. Ocean Co built this yacht in 2018. Very unusual looking yacht, 90 meters in length, 295 feet, and a gross tonnage of 3,000 on the nail. The boat can carry 12 guests, so she's a large yacht code yacht. Now, some of the interesting features of this boat, or one of the most incredible features, is the amount of glass that they've used on this. Obviously, whoever had this built wanted a lot of light going inside of the boat. I saw a figure of 390,000 square meters of glass used on this vessel. I don't know whether that is correct, but it's certainly an awful lot of glass. It certainly looks like it could be. You think about it, the same on the other side. So yeah, I've got some footage from Italy from a little while back when I was leaving on a yacht, and I filmed this this boat that was moored there at the time. Really unusual design there with that all of that glass there towards the bow section. This is probably due to the inside of there. There's probably like double height ceilings, maybe even triple height. You know, to have this large, very high ceiling kind of effect going on, and that's probably why there's so much glass there. Some quite funky areas here that looks like a crew area, working area. Some hydraulics there to lift up that cover. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. If anyone knows, if anyone who's worked on board knows what that is, be interesting to know what that is exactly. And then we've got this funky kind of thing over the bridge. Now, the bridge is quite low down on this yacht, so it's basically looking out over the bow, which is not ideal really for any yacht to be so low down. I mean, when you're at sea, it's not really a problem because you're effectively really using your radars and your systems on board. I mean, you're still looking out the window, of course, but when you're in a port and you're trying to maneuver it, it does create issues. But you've got the bridge wing here, and they'll have controls on the bridge wing, so the captain can come out here when he's docking. So probably alleviates any issues there, really. All right, so now we're getting into the largest yachts of the largest yachts, if you know what I mean. This is the top 3 yachts on the list, and we've gone from number 4 to number 3, but we've jumped a massive amount. Motor yacht Kismet is 122 meters long, and we'll go into the stats in a second. But what's interesting about this yacht, there's a new price point for charter yachts that up until a few years ago didn't really exist. The first charter yacht to be over $3 million was Motor Yacht Flying Fox. Now that yacht's been kind of laid up for a long time because of the sanctions, but that now is chartering again for $3 million. $3 million. This boat here, Motor Yacht Kismet, is now entering the charter market, and it's also going to be at that same price point. So this is what I'm talking about. There's a brand new price point of $3 million per week, and that's not with your fuel and your food and all that stuff. That's just the price to secure the boat, and everything else is on top of that. Now, I did a video actually a few years ago with a yacht captain, a charter captain, and he gives the breakdown. I'll put a link in the corner so you can go and watch that if you're interested to know how they break down the actual pricing of a charter yacht. At the end of the video, we're going to talk about all of the yachts that are in that price range, and I'm going to ask you which one you would rather sail on for a week. Now, Kismet was launched by Lursen in the old traditional fashion, where they launch it down the slipway into the water. It was quite famous even before the vessel was fully completed because of that video. I'll show you a clip of it here so you know what I'm talking about. And one of the interesting things about this yacht, the thing that I can never miss, is the mast, the way they have all of these pointy bits up at the top there. What it was interesting about it is it reminds me of the Transformer, the bad Transformer. I don't remember, not Optimus Prime, the bad guy. because of all the pointy bits up here. But these funnels here, if you can see, you've got your satellite domes up here, but then you've got these weird funnels, almost looks like a slide. There's one on each side. This is for blowing when the vessel's underway. When the smoke is coming out of the smokestacks, that is to blow the air up into to blow the smoke up into the air, so it doesn't land on these aft decks. That's what that's for. I worked on a cruise ship once that had the same thing, which is kind of funny to say, isn't it, that a cruise ship had the same thing as this yacht. All right, so some of the crazy stats for this vessel. Like I said, 122 meters in length, which is about 400 feet. I think it's actually dead on 400 feet. Gross tonnage of 4,918 gross tons. Like I said in another video, gross tonnage is not, if you had a giant scale and you put the boat on it, it's not 4,918 gross tons. It's actually the interior volume. It's a measurement of the interior volume of the vessel. Displacement is what you want if you want to know the actual weight of a vessel. That's how much water it displaces when you place it in the water. Now, on top of the 5,000 gross tons, or almost, we've got a 17.8 meter beam, or 58 feet beam. That's the width, side to side. We've got a draft of 4.8 meters, which is about 16 feet, which is incredible. Cruising speed of 13 knots. I don't think that's the top speed. I have a feeling that would be very low for a Lursen to be that low. Now, what's interesting about this yacht is it only takes 12 guests, which is, for a 122 meter yacht, is probably, you probably think that's quite unusual. Now, there is a reason for it, and it's to do with the class or the specifications the yacht needs to be built to, depending on how many guests it takes on board. Now, 12 was the limit up until fairly recently, probably let's say 10 years ago. And then they created a new code called the Passenger Yacht Code, which for 13 to 36 guests, you can still have a yacht, but the specification of the build is much higher in terms of safety, in terms of the stuff that's used to build the yacht. And this is why most boats you'll find, even a boat as big as this, is only catering for 12 guests, because they can stay under that. They can stay in the large yacht code rather than the passenger yacht code build specifications. Crew of 36 as well. So yeah, a lot of crew. In actual fact, for the size of the boat, that is not an awful lot of crew. When we go on to the next boat, you'll see what I mean. Or the largest boat has a much larger crew. All right, so we get to number 2 of the largest yachts of the show. This is Yacht Renaissance, and she's a big girl as well. She's almost the same size in gross tonnage as the number 1 boat, which we'll come to shortly, which is just over here. Look at the size of this thing. There's a 55 meter yacht there. Almost looks like a tender. Almost looks like they could lift it up and put it on the stern, right? It's so big. Anyway, this is, like I said, Yacht Renaissance, largest yacht ever to be built in Spain. Interestingly, this yacht doesn't have a fairing. What do I mean by that? I mean, normally the steel that when they make a yacht, they build it out of steel, a steel hull. Then they place over this materials like Bondo, if you like, if you're American, putty, we would call it in the UK. And then they smooth it down, they sand it all down so it's like smooth as a baby's butt. And then they paint it. And then it looks really shiny and smooth, and you don't see any of the welds or anything like that. Well, with this yacht, they've decided not to do that. I think the reason behind that is money usually. The fact that this boat was built to be a charter yacht. It's not like it's privately owned, but it's not built for the owner as such. It's built to be chartered, and as such, it's more practical to not have that. You can actually see that the stern section here does have a bit of a fairing on it. So you can see it becomes quite smooth there, and along there. But the rest of it, you can see the wells here. I'll go up with this more light. I might not be able to see this, but you can see the wells still in the hull. And this is what cruise ships would look like, or any ship that isn't a super yacht, basically. And the actual benefits of this is that if you get some damage on the vessel. If it's the fairing, it gets smashed and then you have to go into refit. But this is not so much, and you can paint this. The crew can get out with a roller and just start to paint when there's a bit of corrosion or something on there. It's much easier to fix, and it's, you know, it'll last longer without having to go into refit. So you can see more clearly here, and on the bow of the ship, you can see all of the wells where the hull was constructed. You can also see that they don't have the polished stainless steel anchor pockets, which is another thing that is usually done on a super yacht. This has a cruise ship vibe, actually. One of my team who's here with me said, we all come from cruise ships, and that one of my team said to me that this reminds me of a cruise ship, and it's because of the way it looks, because of the anchor pocket, because of the lines in the hull that we can see here. And that's not an insult by any means. It just gives us that vibe of a cruise ship. And like I said, this is a working boat, and as such, it's more practical, because otherwise the deckhands will have to, you know, spend endless hours polishing the stainless anchor pocket, which is like mission impossible, really. Now, some of the stats: 112 meters in length, it's 367 feet. So big boat, 7,200 gross tons, and built by a Freyre shipyard. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. It's the Spanish. It's a location in Spain, but it's not Spanish. I think it might be Catalan or something like that. But that's the name right there of the shipyard. It's a place in Spain. What else we got? Built in 2023. So she was actually here for the Monaco Grand Prix. I've got some footage of the boat out at anchor, which I might use here because it's pretty footage. We got 18-meter beam, so that's the width, or 60 foot across. Draft of 5.1 meters, which is 16, almost 17 feet. Now, this yacht is the maximum guests allowed under the passenger yacht code is 36, and this boat carries 36 guests. So one of the features that you can see on this boat right here is something that you've probably seen if you've ever been on a cruise ship, or you've ever seen a cruise ship. They have these totally enclosed lifeboats, which most yachts don't have, right? And there's another reason why. When you have the passenger yacht code, when you're over 12 guests, you have to have hard davit launchable lifeboats on board, and not just life rafts, which is what they are. They're life rafts in little containers, inflatable life rafts. That's what most yachts have. I mean, obviously most yachts have limousines and have lots of boats which are launched out of the stern or out of the tender garage. But here we've got two, one on each side, launchable lifeboats. Now, one of the things, a quick thing about the safety is that for everybody who's on board, they have to have enough life-saving equipment on each side of the vessel independently. So if something happens on one side, they can go to the other side. So they have this boat here can carry 45 persons. There's 36 guests, so that leaves 9 crew. And then they've got two 25-man, I think the 25-man life rafts here, inflatable ones, and they'll have the same thing on the other side of the boat. You can see where the davit will launch. You can see the lines up there where the davit will come out. Those rails will fall down, and they can launch the boat and then drop it straight in the water. So everybody will get on board here, embarkation station, and then they will just take it out and then drop it down into the water. And then the guys, the crew that are operating the boat, will release the lines once they're in the water. Now, interestingly, because they have those totally enclosed lifeboats, some of the crew will have to be trained and have to be certified. I'm certified to drive these boats as well, but they'll have to be certified to operate the boats, be able to release them, to operate them, and all that. And that's something that is a throwover from my cruise ship days, which I kept current. So I every 5 years I kept doing that test to keep current. Number 2 on the list of the largest yachts at the show. Like I said, because it's gross tonnage and not length, 112 meters versus Kismet's 122 meters, but Kismet is only 4,900 gross tons, whereas Renaissance is 7,200 gross tons, which is an extra, super yacht on top. So, for instance, Planet 9 is 2,200 gross tons effectively. So this is 2,200 tons more than Kismet, which is mind-boggling, really. All right, and now we finally get to number one. This is the largest yacht of the yacht show from 2024, but it's also apparently the largest yacht ever to be in the Monaco Yacht Show, and this is Yacht Golden Odyssey. Now, we've covered the story of this yacht in the past on the channel, on Super Yacht News. The vessel was previously owned by a Saudi prince, and it was seized by the bank because of non-payment of money owed on the vessel and sold at auction. The vessel had been sat in Malta for a few years, so probably not having any money spent on it at the time. It was basically mothballed, and then it was sent to a massive refit once the new owner took ownership, which was just last year, I believe. After that, a Chinese buyer took ownership of the vessel. Now, when we arrived at the yacht show, when we arrived in Monaco for the yacht show, we believed that the two largest yachts of the show were Kismet and Renaissance. Renaissance, which is number two now. That is a massive yacht. It's almost the same size gross tonnage wise as this vessel here, but this vessel snuck in. We didn't even realize that this boat was going to be part of the show. We saw it here the day before and thought, oh, maybe it's just going to leave before the show starts, but no. It came in as it was a late entrance, not even on the list, the Monaco Yacht Show map of the show. It's that late. It came in the day before, and she is the largest yacht of the show this year. But like I said, they're saying that it's the largest yacht ever to be for sale at the Monaco Yacht Show, or they're saying the largest yacht ever at the Monaco Yacht Show. Now, I will dispute that, because I was on a yacht that was larger than this by both length and gross tonnage quite a while ago, a few years ago, over a decade ago. And yeah, that was a bigger yacht, but we were out at anchor, and I don't even know whether we were actually officially on the list, because I wasn't covering it like I do now. So yeah, they're saying, and I'll go with what they say, that this is the largest yacht ever at the Monaco Yacht Show. And like I said, previously owned, it was originally delivered in 2015, built by Lursen, of course, and the original owner was Khalid bin Sultan Al Saud. He later lost the boat, like I said, plus there was a number of residences in London and stuff like that that he could no longer afford. I think this was to do with politics back in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, the yacht is, like I said, 123 meters, which is over 400 feet in length, 7,690 gross tons, so just under, just short of 8,000 gross tons. Refit in 2023, so it was 2023 that the ownership took place, and the beam of 20 meters across, so 20 meters across from side to side, that's incredible, 65 feet. A draft of 4.9 meters or 16 feet deep. That's what's underneath the water level, the watermark. Top speed of 21 knots, which is impressive for a big girl like this. And the vessel can carry 30 to 32 guests, and this vessel would have been built to the passenger yacht code because she's over 12 guests. Now, the cabin configuration that we have listed is 2 master cabins, because why have one when you can have 2 at twice the price? 2 VIP cabins, 6 doubles, and 5 double/twin cabins. We've just got one more thing to ask, and this is the most ridiculous question that I've ever asked, I think, on the channel, and that is, which yacht would you pick if you had $3 million burning a hole in your pocket and you have to pick one of these boats, right? So you've got the vessels that are here, obviously. You've got Kismet, can carry 12 guests. That's brand new, $350 million super yacht. You've got Yacht Renaissance. If you've got a big family or if you've got a lot of friends, then you might want to pick that boat because it's got the maximum amount of capacity for a yacht in this class, 36 guests, which is the absolute maximum amount of guests you can have on board. What else we've got? We've got Yacht Flying Fox, 136 meters, which is 450 feet, can carry 22 guests. It's a 9,000 gross ton yacht as well, so that's a big girl. Then we've got Yacht Octopus, my favorite, 126 meters, which is 413 feet, can carry 26 guests, and that is a 10,000 gross ton yacht. The question is, which yacht would you hire or charter if you had 3,000, I wish, $3 million burning a hole in your pocket? Don't forget, that's just the charter price. If you want to actually go anywhere or eat any food or use the AC or anything else, then you have to add that on top as well. So you probably come out with, add an extra $1 million to it for all of the other stuff and the fuel and everything. So yeah, So also, like I said, I'll put a link in the description and stuff if you want to know how it works in terms of when you charter a vessel, what that money's actually for and what extras are on top and all that stuff. You can watch that video. I spoke to a charter captain a few years ago at the show, and he gives you the rundown on all of that stuff. So anyway, let me know in the comments which yacht you would pick and why. And yeah, we'll talk about it there, guys. But I hope you enjoyed the video from beautiful Monaco. Another episode of It's Always Sunny in Monaco, except for the last couple of days when it wasn't so nice. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.